one for the Holiday Let's Tribe now on Property Tribes TV, and I'm joined by Claire Potter, also known as the Villa Doctor on Twitter, which is actually where we met, and it's such a coincidence, isn't it, Claire, because you actually live about a mile from me.
Exactly, I know, most bizarre. All the world we could have covered with Twitter and we're within a mile of each other.
But that's the great serendipitous nature of Twitter, don't you think?
Absolutely, love it.
Now, you've got a fantastic service for holiday letters in the Algarve.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about what Villa Doctor offers.
Villa Doctor offers a bespoke service to independent villa owners who rent out their properties and who wish to miss out the middleman in terms of agency and management, not because necessarily they don't trust them, but just because it's cheaper to miss them out. And finance is what it's all about now. In order to keep their rent rates competitive, they have to make sure that their finances are manageable to keep them that way. So yes, the service I offer is very much to do with helping each rental owner individually, so that if a property needs its interiors sort of zhuzhing up or giving it a bit of renewed va-va-voom or whatever the phrase is, then I can go in and do that. If it's a matter of checking security, I can go and do that. If it's a matter of checking that the cleaner's going in when they say they're going in, or there's not a water leak or a burst or whatever it is, I can go in on a one-off basis and sort it out for them.
And I'm sure there must be a demand for that kind of service in the UK. Is that something you would consider?
I would. I mean, in truth, I haven't looked into that as yet. But yes, absolutely. I think there would be.
If you go over to Portugal regularly then?
Yes, I do. I go over usually every month for a couple of days, either at the front end and the back end, or if there's rentals that need seeing in because the owners aren't there, then I'll do that. It just depends really. But it's nice to be flexible, I have to say.
Of course. Now, you're like me in that you have some quite strong views on holiday lets, and you're very much about maintaining a holiday let, well, starting out at a high standard,
yes,
and maintaining that.
Absolutely.
Because you feel that that's what the market demands.
Indeed, and I think the market, because it is becoming increasingly competitive, people are far more fussy actually and more selective about what they're getting for their money. So that if, for example, you have two apartments adjacent to each other, they both have the same spec ostensibly, say 3 bedrooms, 1 living room, blah blah. The fact is, if there's something different about one of them, that's the one that will get the repeat business. It's something that I don't always suggest people explain completely in their spec or in their marketing material, because another aspect of that and repeat business is having a client walk in and go, oh my goodness, I was not expecting this. Customer delight, giving them something more than they expected is actually a very important part of it.
And you also like niche strategies as well, don't you, where you know who your guest is and you supply something very specific to their needs.
Absolutely, to the extent that some clients now we're advising about advertising romantic breaks, so you can actually tailor-make the environment. I mean, sort of up the number of candles to 1 million as opposed to 4, and you know, all that sort of thing, just to sort of theme the whole thing. We've had a Mother's Day one, we've had a wedding anniversary one. We can provide cakes, we can provide a chef, we can provide whatever it is they want. We can make bespoke visits too, which is a long-winded way of getting round to the fact that yes, niche marketing does help too.
And that also works on the portals as well, doesn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
Like Owners Direct
absolutely,
and so on,
right.
and
Yes,
Home Away,
yeah.
that you can produce these kind of vertical marketing streams.
Yes, absolutely.
And do you help people with the marketing?
I do, yes. Largely they like to do it themselves, but they will ask me for templates or do's and don'ts actually, rather than a template, so that do be positive, don't be negative. And that sounds ridiculously obvious, but some people will say only a 10-minute drive to the beach. To me, that's a negative if you're looking for a seaside rental. You know, you need to pick the vocabulary so that it's more exact, but positively. That sounds really ridiculous, but
No, I know what you mean.
Follow.
Yes, absolutely. Because I'm a big believer in appealing to what I call anticipation happiness,
Exactly.
which is when they're choosing where to go,
That's a
that
really
you draw
good
them
expression.
in with the description.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, as holiday let owners, do you think that I believe that we have to adopt more the, I suppose, mentality of a hotelier. Are you in agreement with that?
Yes, I do, because I think that would also indicate to a potential client that you've actually thought about their needs. You've tried to put yourself in their boots and tried to fulfill your expectation of their expectation. And yes, absolutely.
So what would be your sort of number one tip to a holiday rental owner to achieve occupancy or maintain occupancy?
Honesty has to be high up there. In practical terms, cleanliness. In visual terms, something different from the eye. So, but continuity. You can change you don't have to have uniformity throughout. You can have a continuity of design or continuity of colour, but just something that feeds something different. It gives you something unexpected from an interior sort of presentation way. And as you said, go beyond the anticipation. I think that's absolutely key.
And great photographs, of course.
Great photographs, yes. And in doing that, people have an idea. Sometimes when you look at a photograph, you see it and you have this romanticised idea about what else could be there, what isn't there. And actually, as a hotelier sort of perspective on it, you need to go beyond that. So it's sort of going beyond their expectation, even though they've had a photograph in front of them. So good photographs are essential to create a feeling of anticipation.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much for talking to
You're
us.
welcome.
That's Claire Potter. You can follow her at Villa Doctor on Twitter, and you've been watching Property Tribes TV.